Can you look at movies that you feel this way about, and movies that didn't work so well, in box office, and see why? I mean, do you know why, for example, Michael Collins, a film that I like because I like history, and because I like Liam, and because I like you, but didn't do that well at the box office? For reasons I don't quite know, because...
Well, that's an example of just a crying shame, I think, that movie not being seen by more people. And it doesn't matter about money, but it's just too bad that more people didn't see it, because it's a great story. Neil Jordan is a great director. He wrote a beautiful screenplay.
Exactly my point.
It is visually stunning.
If there's any role that Liam should play, it's that one.
Yeah, the big fella.
Yeah, the big fella.
It's a beautiful, beautiful movie, and it's a pity that more people weren't exposed to it. And I don't know, that's a movie that I wouldn't have an answer as to why. I mean, perhaps people weren't drawn to it because it seemed historical, but they're missing how compelling that history was and what a great drama Neil wrote in the screenplay of his life.
See, I like Pelican Brief too, you know, and I didn't think it had done so well. I realized later it did more than $100 million and did well, I guess, overseas or whatever it did.
I call it the pelican that laid the golden egg.
Why do you say that?
Just because that's a movie that just constantly is making money till the end of time. That movie's making
maybe it's
money.
because of John Grisham, maybe it's because of you, maybe because of Denzel. But I said to Denzel, gee, I mean, I said to him a couple of weeks ago, I like this, even though I'm thinking that most people didn't like it, thinking that I was just going to say this because it was the way I felt, and thinking he'd probably be pleased because it was his. He looked at me like, "What was wrong with that movie? I mean, why doesn't everybody like it?" I was, you know.
Yeah, no, it's a movie that I have a lot of people talk to me about on the street or the bus or whatever. People, you know, Pelican was on television the other night, and they just, people like that movie.
Do you have in your own head those that mean the most to you? I mean, Pretty Woman, I assume, means a lot because it was as you say, a moment in your career. Professional career.
Well, but it meant a lot before it was even that to me.
Why?
Because it was one of those just really remarkable times, and it was so much fun making the movie, and I felt like I worked really hard and had such a nice time, and it was just a really valuable experience for me as a person and as an actor. So what it is to me today is what it was for me the day I wrapped that movie. Pelican Brief is another major moment in my life because it was the first movie that I'd done in 2 years, and to work with Pakula, who I loved and missed so much, and to work with Sam again, who was so great.
You're the only person we know who you said, he's the only person that you worked twice with, Sam Shepard.
Yeah, and he played my boyfriend, and it was all scandalous, and I loved that. And then, of course, Denzel rounding out the perfection of a summer that my life would be incomplete without.
What was the time like between, did you make Steel Magnolias before you made Mystic Pizza?
No, I made Mystic Pizza and then Steel Magnolias.
Okay, it's because I thought they came out that way, but so that was the order you made them as well as the order they came out. Because I knew that they'd come out that way, but I thought maybe you made Steel Magnolias. Did Steel Mystic Pizza help you get Steel Magnolias, or did they hire you before Mystic Pizza had come out? You don't know.
I can't remember. However, there is a sense a really strong sense I had back then, and was just talking about this to a friend the other day, that whole early period of time was really a moment of me feeling as though work begets work, because I had done a movie called Satisfaction, and then shortly after that got a movie for HBO called Baja, Oklahoma, with Peter Coyote.
Yep,
there's a second person I've worked with twice.
Right.
So there's two. Right. And then right after that did Mystic Pizza. So it's that, and I don't know if it's something that a person does when they come into a room and they can say, well, I've just finished this film, you know, down in the Carolinas.
Yeah. And
before it comes out and people know that. And you know, maybe there's a confidence, because it just seemed like I would get a job and I would finish it, and then I would get another job, and then another, and so I did those 3 movies, Satisfaction, Baja, Oklahoma, and Mystic Pizza, all kind of in a row. Yeah. That was a year that I worked, and then did Steel Magnolias, and then did Pretty Woman.
Yeah. But you got all these awards because of Steel Magnolias. You got nominations up your kazoo, right?
Yeah.
And you were the only one, and you had a lot of talent in that room.
Well, but I think that's the best example, the most obvious example to me, that there's no such thing as a singular achievement in movies. So my name can be on the little statue, but there's that movie specifically. Without those women, I would never have delivered the performance that was appreciated. Without Sally and Shirley, Olympia, Dolly, Daryl, it's because of them that I was able to achieve what I achieved in that film, and the recognition that I received for that was a group effort. There was no singular achievement at all.
What is it they give you?
Unconditional support.
Really?
All of them.
And also they raise the level, the standard pretty high. You know that you're among the best, and so therefore you better rise up.
Exactly.
And if you rise up to that level, you're going to have a lot of support to try and take chances to be even better than you might imagine.
Well, and to feel, you know, most of my scenes were with Sally, who I had met because I had done a movie that her husband at the time had produced. So I had actually met her once. And when I went in for like my last audition on Steel Magnolias, there had been like 3 or something, and then the last one I went in, she was there, and I'll never forget, she said, "Oh, it's so nice to see you again." I thought, oh, Sally Field remembers me, and it was so exciting, and it really made me feel, you know,
like Sally would say at the Academy Awards.
And all through the making of the movie, she always just made me feel like I was either doing it well or, you know, come on, you can do it better, and just, but encouraging me in the best, most loving way, and making me feel like her peer. And it just really elevated my participation, I think.
You had no sense that when you went to make what became Pretty Woman, which was in begin was what called $3,000?
$3,000.
Which is what the amount of money she made for the evening or something?
Mm-hmm. For the weekend.
For the weekend.
For the week.
For the week, whatever it was. You had no sense that this had this power.
No.
This film was made like $500 million.
I know.
And did you? You know.
Yeah.
But did you guys have any sense? Did Gary understand it, or did Gear understand after that when you finished and wrapped this thing up that this somehow, folks, we don't know why, but it's come together to be something pretty damn good?
Well, the best way to answer that question is to relay a story that I was told where, and don't misunderstand, we had so much fun making this movie.
Right.
We were happy people. But when we finished and Gary put the movie together as sort of rough assembly or whatever, and he had called 2 of the people that worked on the movie to come over and see it. And as the story was told to me, these 2 people said, you know, let's have lunch before we go see the movie. And they had lunch to sit and talk about, okay, now, if it's really, really bad, we'll just tell him, you know, Gary, we had fun. We all loved each other. It doesn't matter. Who cares? You know, it doesn't matter. You know, that's how much they were prepared for it not to be good, because it was pretty chaotic. We didn't have. I mean, we were halfway through the movie and we still didn't have a really finished script, and we were making stuff up leftover, right, and just kind of like, blah, you know, but it was fun. And
so Gary must have done magical things in the editing room.
Well, what I say about Gary is that we made, because we shot so much stuff making this movie, we made 10 movies.
Yes.
And 7 of them were unwatchable. 2 of them, good on TV.
Yeah.
And Gary found the one.
Do you fall in love, and have you fallen in love more than once with people that you're acting with?
Well, yeah. Yeah, man.
Well, just
Have you seen any of my movies?
Yes, I have. But I mean, like Kiefer, you fell in love with.
Oh, that kind of love.
Oh, yeah, that kind of love. Oh, no, I don't mean that. I mean, is it something for you, about the movie set that sort of makes you?
Well, I don't think so, because the two people that I've loved in my life, I didn't meet on a movie set.
Lyle.
And Benjamin.
The 2 people you've loved in your life, you didn't meet on a movie set. Okay. Yeah. So what was the rest of it about then? You had relationships that you were not madly in love.
Charlie, it's called being 20, being flirty, having a good time. I mean, this is simple math, honey.
All right, well, just explain to me.
Yeah, no, it's called.
It's just having fun. It's recreational.
It's having fun. I mean, it's not frivolous.
No, I know.
But it's
not the marrying kind.
It's having fun, and it's working nonstop.
Right.
I mean, my question was, because I couldn't understand